Ladies and gentlemen, let us begin by asking a simple question. Why do we carry burdens that do not belong to us? Life is like a long journey, and on this journey, each one of us carries a backpack. In the beginning, this backpack is light, but as we walk through life, we start collecting things. Some are our own responsibilities, experiences, mistakes, and lessons. But very often, we also start to collect the stones that belong to other people, their mistakes, their anger, their shortcomings. Without noticing, we put these stones into our backpack and we carry them. Why? Because sometimes we do not want others to feel pain. Sometimes we believe that if we carry it, we can fix it. Other times, we have been taught to believe that we are responsible for what others do, for how others feel, for what others decide. But this is an illusion. The burden you carry must be your own. Nothing more, nothing less. Imagine this. You see someone walking with a heavy load, and instead of helping them carry it together, you quietly take their entire load and place it in your own backpack. You walk away, but you are now bent, tired, and wondering why life feels so heavy. And the person you helped, they may not even notice. They may not even appreciate it. Some may even expect you to continue carrying it. This is how suffering begins. When you accept the fault that is not yours, you also accept suffering that is not meant for you. So, the first lesson is this. You must learn to open your backpack and ask, is this truly mine? If it is not, you must have the courage to put it down. You must have the clarity to understand the difference between compassion and self-betrayal. Helping someone does not mean sacrificing your peace. Supporting someone does not mean absorbing their guilt. A tree does not carry the weakness of another tree. A river does not flow slower because another river is blocked. Nature shows us we are responsible for our path, our steps, our choices. And sometimes people will try to give you their stones through blame, through anger, through silence, but their stones are their lessons. Their mistakes are their teachers. Do not steal their opportunity to grow by carrying what belongs to them. The journey of life is long. You cannot walk far with a heavy backpack filled with other people's burdens. Put them down, walk lighter. This is how you find freedom. This is how you protect your spirit. This is how you respect your own path. As we said, life is a long journey, and you cannot walk far with a heavy backpack filled with burdens that do not belong to you. You must put them down. You must walk lighter. But there is something else. There is another weight that many people carry. Even after they have set down the stones of others, they continue to carry a silent, invisible burden. This burden is called the illusion of control. You see, sometimes it is not the weight of other people's mistakes we carry, it is the weight of believing that we should have been able to control everything. We say, maybe I could have stopped it. Maybe I should have known better. Maybe it's my fault. But this, my friends, is where we deceive ourselves. No matter how strong you are, no matter how wise you become, there are things you cannot control. The behavior of others, the choices of others, the changing winds of life, these are like the weather. You can prepare, but you cannot command the sky. When a friend betrays you, you ask, what did I do wrong? When life does not go as planned, you ask, could I have prevented this? When someone is angry with you, you ask, was I the cause? But let us reflect. You are responsible for your words. You are responsible for your actions, but you are not responsible for someone else's mind. You are not responsible for their journey. You are not responsible for the storms that life brings. To carry what is not yours is to walk with a heavy backpack. But to blame yourself for what was never within your control, this is like walking with chains around your heart. This is how people become trapped. They carry guilt for things they could never have changed. They try to solve problems that do not belong to them. They believe they are the cause of every outcome. But the truth is simple. The river flows, whether you try to stop it or not. The tree grows, whether you wish it to or not. Life moves according to its own rhythm. The more you believe you control everything, the more you suffer when things fall apart. So I invite you now, do not only empty your backpack of other people's stones, also remove the chains of false responsibility. Release the weight of what you could not change. Accept that your power has limits. Walk light, walk free. This is how you find peace. This is how you continue your journey, not with heaviness, but with clarity. Not with guilt, but with balance. We spoke about the heavy backpack carrying burdens that are not ours. We spoke about the silent chains, blaming ourselves for what we cannot control. But now I must bring your attention to something even more subtle, something that enters our lives quietly and without permission. The fault that others try to place upon us. Sometimes it is not that we pick up the burden. Sometimes it is that others quietly hand it to us through blame, through manipulation, through silence. It is called projection. When a person is unwilling to face their own mistakes, when they are not ready to carry their own stones, they begin to look for someone else, someone who will carry the weight for them. Perhaps you have experienced this. You become the target of their frustration. You become the reason for their failure. You become the explanation for their unhappiness. But I must tell you, just because someone points the finger at you does not mean you must accept the weight. A person's anger does not belong to you. A person's failure does not belong to you. A person's pain does not always come from you. But if you are not mindful, you will carry it anyway. You will think, maybe they are right. Maybe I am to blame. Maybe I should carry this for them. But this is where you must stand firm. Do not accept what is not yours. Do not carry the guilt that does not belong to you. When someone throws a stone at your feet, you have a choice. You can pick it up and carry it, or you can leave it on the ground where it belongs. Understand this. There are people who will not take responsibility for their words, for their failures, for their choices, and instead they will try to hand that responsibility to you. But walking the path of self-mastery means learning to recognize this. It means learning to return the stone, not with anger, not with resistance, but with calm clarity. You say, this is not mine, I will not carry it. And you keep walking. Projection is not your burden. Someone else's shame is not your lesson. Do not interrupt their growth by stealing their opportunity to face themselves. To walk light is not only to let go of your own burdens, it is also to refuse what does not belong to you. The path is long, the journey is sacred. You cannot carry your life and someone else's avoidance at the same time. So we continue step by step, learning not only what to let go, but what never to pick up in the first place. We have spoken about the heavy backpack, the burdens that are not ours. We have spoken about the silent chains, the illusion that we can control what we cannot. We have spoken about projection, when others hand us their faults and we unknowingly accept them. But now it is time to take this understanding even deeper. It is time to ask, how do we step back? How do we walk truly free? This is called the art of detachment. You see, the moment you begin to see clearly, the moment you realize, this is not my burden, this is not my fault, this is not mine to carry, you will also feel something else. You will feel guilt for stepping back. You will feel discomfort for saying, no, I will not carry this. Why? Because the mind is conditioned to take responsibility. Because the heart is trained to say, if I do not carry it, who will? But true strength is not found in holding everything. True strength is found in knowing when to release. Detachment is not abandonment. Detachment is clarity. It is stepping back from false responsibility, not because you are cold, but because you finally understand it is not your lesson to learn, it is not your stone to carry, it is not your storm to walk through. When you practice detachment, you do not turn your back on people, you simply refuse to imprison yourself for them. You can still offer kindness, you can still offer help, but you must not carry their journey on your shoulders. Let them face their own reflections. Let them grow through their own struggles. Sometimes stepping back is the most compassionate thing you can do for them and for yourself. And when you walk in this way, with presence, with clarity, without unnecessary weight, something beautiful happens. You begin to walk light. You begin to move through life freely, without the weight of other people's stones, without the chains of false guilt, without the need to accept blame that was never yours. You begin to walk with balance, with peace, A light traveler does not move with haste, but with ease. A light traveler is not empty. They are simply carrying what is truly theirs. Imagine walking through life like this. No heavy backpack, no invisible chains, no borrowed stones. Only your path, only your lessons, only your rhythm. This is freedom. This is what it means to truly walk light. So ask yourself often, is this mine? Do I need to carry this? Can I step back without losing myself? The answer will guide you. The answer will lighten your steps. The answer will bring you back to yourself. So as you continue walking through life, not burdened but free, not heavy but light, I invite you to ask yourself again and again, what weight am I still carrying that was never mine to begin with? The answer will show you the next step.
Thank you